Brought to you by Irish owned and operated Travel Department. Let's see more.
Now it's holiday booking time for lots of us. Today we are looking at walking trails and destinations course around Europe.
Yeah, we know somebody more who always has the hiking boots ready and the backpack
And
ready to go. She is a travel expert along with all of this. Michelle Jackson, great to have you on the show.
Great to see you.
We're loving you come in. Do you know what? You just bring hope, you bring sun, you bring heat, and this time you're bringing a little pain.
My walking poles, my hiking poles, they really help. Do you know they take 30% of the weight of your body from your legs, so it makes it easier.
Brilliant.
Great way to get used to them when you get started.
And Michelle, the thing about it as well, do you know, you don't even need them for the hills. Even when you're walking on the road,
That's what I mean.
they're
But I see
brilliant, like.
people
Yeah,
walking
you
with
do.
them now.
Yeah,
They're getting more, like in other countries when you go to, you see people a lot with them, but they're
Absolutely.
more and more now here. Anyway, take us away.
With
Where are we
us-
off to?
I was taking you on the traditional Camino de Santiago, the Way of St. James, which was a medieval pilgrimage that has had a great revival over the last 30 years. And I've got three fabulous different routes to take. This is with TD Active Holidays, starting in Bilbao. You fly in there and you get a taste of Bilbao, and then you travel start walking on these beautiful little walks through the Galician hills, through the little towns, and they're nice shortish walks, up to 10k.
So you get the whole day to do 10k.
You get the whole day to do 10k, and you start at the back, and you travel nice and slowly through all the beautiful Galician towns, those lovely winding hills, local wineries even you get to see. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful landscape, and you'll go. It's quite a long trek, so you know they kind of break it up for you, and you get time for yourself along the way, which is really
nice.
lovely.
And you can stay in all that overnight, don't you? All that. And I even
Absolutely,
believe they
yeah.
have, you know, chiropodists on the way for people's feet and all that. Is that true?
Oh, all the facilities will be laid onto you because you've got a guide who'll hold your hand from the time you get on the plane to the time you arrive there in Bilbao.
How fit would you need to be to do one of these?
But moderately, like I'd start off with, say, hiking around the Spink, going to, it would depend on where you're in the country, if you're in Wicklow, if you're down here, go up to the Galtee Mountains, and just do general walks. We're so blessed here, we've got lovely rolling hills.
And you know the Camino walks, as you can see some of it there, are they very flat, a lot of them?
Yeah, there are different ways of doing the route, but the last 100 is quite a challenge. If you do the traditional one, that's the second one here. Okay. That's where you fly into Santiago and you're brought to Sarria, which is kind of the main starting town for the last 100. And then you walk in after your lovely 7 days and you arrive in the Santiago de Compostela Cathedral.
It's lovely, isn't it?
This is 7 days again, Michelle, because people will look at 100k and going, oh my God, that's a lot, but over 7 days.
It's broken down, I'd say 15 to 28. I think 28 is the hardest day. It's the Wednesday usually you do that one.
Yeah, we can see Santiago, can't we? Because it's a beautiful place if you haven't been. I mean, a lot of people just visit it anyway.
Yeah, and you know, a lesser known one is the Portuguese way.
I've never heard of this one.
It's becoming very popular, and you start off on the coast at the Atlantic Ocean. So you're walking along the beautiful boardwalks that they've put in and the lovely coast for at least 2 days. And you start off in Porto on this one, and then you're brought through the centre of that gorgeous scenery in the Galician hills, and then you end up back in Porto. You fly home from Porto with that one too.
What about kids for this one? Is this kind of adult-ish?
It is an adult, but people have brought children, but I think this is really more a spiritual journey. You know, it's kind of like a modern kind of time out for yourself, and a lot of people use it as that.
Yeah, they do, and people also feel now that it's doing part of the Camino. It's one of their bucket list things that they want to do. I've seen, and various ages. I mean, it's not just very young people do it.
It's not very spiritual sometimes as well, Michelle. You could have good fun there.
Yeah, we want that.
And you meet people along the way, and you keep meeting them in the different places you're staying in. And if you're with a group, it takes all the stress of getting lost out of it, you know.
So they guide you the whole way, in every way.
They guide you, they hold your hand the whole way.
Okay. Off to Austria. This sounds fantastic.
Oh my goodness, I just love this town. Kitzbühel is
in
the Tyrol. It is very famous, and you've got beautiful sights that you'll be able to see while you're there, like the Streff downhill ski hill, the Kitzbühler Horn, and of course the Kimmel waterfalls, which are spectacular. And you'll be walking through them, that beautiful Austrian fresh air, and I just love the whole culture of Austria, you know, and the food is really wholesome and gives you the energy for all those great walks.
Where would you fly into?
It's a 7-day one.
Munich, probably, is it?
This one flies into Munich, yeah, and it's not too far. It's about a 2-hour transfer, you know, and staying in the typical Tyrolean houses is just.
Can I ask you? Can you give us a price guide on any of these, Michelle?
Well, you'd be talking ballpoint 1,500, maybe a bit less.
That's flights
you know
and everything.
I mean? Yeah,
flights, accommodation.
yeah, if you were doing that, yeah. So that would be that's for the Austrian one.
Right. Andorra?
Andorra, well, we're moving into it, and you'd fly in and out of Barcelona for this because Andorra is actually not in the EU, although it's nestled in between France and Spain. Oh. It's in the Pyrenees Mountains, and its capital, Andorra la Vella, is a great place to go shopping because, of course, it's
duty free.
Duty free, and pack up on your duty free as you're heading out there. And it's also very, very kind of quaint. It's a big enough town, but it's very, very quaint and nice. And you get lots of time to your free time in between this. Again, it's quite challenging because you've got 65 peaks that are over 2,000 metres high. Wow. So if you really want a challenge, there are some really good peaks to climb.
So not for the novice, that one.
Well, there is. You see, the great thing if you go with someone like TD Active, there are 2 different hikes a day. So someone will take you on a moderate walk that'll be, say, 10 kilometres, 6 to 10 kilometres, or you can do a more challenging one. So you've got that choice.
Or even every second day, maybe.
That's exactly, that's a great idea. So you can change a quarter, maybe.
And can you decide then sometimes if you don't want to go on the walk? I mean, the whole thing is if you're with these guided tours, people think you have to do everything. You don't.
No, you have to. You're on your holidays. They're there to support you and help you enjoy yourself and have a great time. And they're meeting like-minded people, so you're going to be having a couple of glasses of vino at night and enjoying yourself.
Is there a good time of the summer to go on these trips?
Yeah, well, you see, you've got the beautiful mountain air, so it's not too warm in the summer, but like around August, September is really, I think, peak, great time to go to Andorra.
Now, we have La Massana, actually, we just show a shot of it here.
La Massana is the little town you'll be staying in. After you arrive in Andorra la Vella, you go up to La Massana, which is beautiful little quaint town, and it's a great kind of middle point because there are so many high points. It's quite high up. It's the highest little town in Andorra, and it's great accessibility to some of the other peaks.
Slovenia.
Yes, Slovenia. Now, actually, Slovenia is sitting on top of Italy and Croatia, so the best way to fly in here is through Venice, and you go up through it. And this lovely tour, you'll be staying for 4 nights at Lake Bohin, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, look at this!
And
Isn't that beautiful?
It's absolutely 4 days trekking around there, being brought on the hikes according as you like. And of course, Lake Bled is one of the
out of this world. I love
this places. It's there's a little church and it's a little island all on its own in the middle of Lake Bled, and you'll get a chance to walk by and see that as well.
Do many Irish people go to Slovenia? Because I actually think it's almost like a hidden gem. Has it become popular?
It's become so popular. I've been getting emails and texts and on social media and that asking about Slovenia. It's become very popular. Yeah, they've great wine too, and the great wildlife. You'll see bears and wolves.
And when you talk about food there, then you're talking, say, would there be an Italian influence there?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Middle Eastern, Eastern European, but also definitely there'd be a bit of Italian in there.
Yeah, it's a lot, I thought there. Yeah, and then you've got the gorge
and
there.
And the Kranjska Gorja. Oh, yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. You spend 3 days in Kranjska Gorja, and that's where you get to see the Perchnik waterfall and Vinkar Gorja, which is about 2 kilometres high, long, and it's quite challenging, but it's really
lovely to see.
One of the most beautiful sights.
Transylvania. It's not a place that you'd really put on the list to go on holidays, but you might change our mind.
Yeah. Well, no, Transylvania is particularly beautiful.
It is, yeah.
And it's kind of like fairy tale-like.
Lots of castles and all that.
It's medieval beauty, beautiful architecture at its best. And to walk this, craggy hilltops, crystalline glassy lakes, you get to spend 5 nights in the charming town of Brasnov. And that there are walks all around that area in the Carpathian Hills. So special mountains like Fagaras and Bukhedji mountains, you get to trek through those and really you'll see unusual rock formations. There's just so much to see.
If you come back from one of these holidays, you'd be rejuvenated.
You'd have
a holiday, but also you get to do something as well.
Culturally as well.
And the fact that the pressure's taken out as well because you've somebody holding your hand, I think it's great.
That's it. And you don't forget Bran Castle. You get to see where Dracula was.
Yeah, that's where it was based on, isn't it? Look at that, dramatic.
That's where Vlad the Impaler was kept for 2 years, I believe. Yeah. Because he was a rather nasty chap.
And can you go into the castle and around and visit
and
everything?
Yes, you'll be brought there. It's one of the things that you see, this is a great thing, that all the highlights will be saved for you so that when you're on these wonderful walks, you won't miss a thing. And that's when you go with someone like TD Active, it'll all be there for you.
Do you get to go to Bucharest as well?
Oh, you spend at the end of that trip, actually, you get to spend 2 nights in Bucharest, which is a fascinating city. I mean, it has quite an interesting history and a sad history too, but it also has it used to be called actually Little Paris at the turn of the 20th century because the boulevards and the buildings were so lovely.
Big here, really,
and Ceausescu, of course, built like massive communist-style buildings as well, but it still has a lovely Old Town quarter, and you'll also get to see the biggest Parliament building, I believe, in the world. I believe it is the biggest.
So loads to see.
Loads to see in Doon Bucharest.
Lovely,
So with
diverse.
great wine too.
Oh yeah, it is. Listen, thanks so much, Michelle.
Thanks,
Great.
Michelle.
We just want to go away now. I should be
Do you
honest.
know what? When you come in, I can just feel the sun on my face, Michelle. It's great. I think everyone at home feels the same thing as well. It gives us something to look forward
Yeah, it's
to.
the time of the year as well that people are booking. So check it all out,
Yep.
actually. Our Travel Thursdays. You can pop onto our Facebook page and our Instagram page at RTE Today for all the details.
Brought to you by Irish owned and operated Travel Department. Let's see more.